What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tyler Egan. In today's video, we're going to be discussing, wait for it, I don't actually know. I don't know yet. I haven't actually decided yet, but I actually guess this is a good time to start with. I have decided for at least a week, I'm going to try it out and see how well I do. For at least a week, I'm going to post a YouTube video, a longer, lengthy YouTube video, just sharing lessons I typically share in our community, in our brotherhood, and just offering more to the world. I don't know, I feel this pull, like right now it feels like there's a big shift happening. I mean, it's been feeling like this for a while now, but like there's a big shift happening in my life that it feels like, at least starting with posting a daily video for a week, a longer form video for a week, is almost like an embodiment practice for me. And you know, it's interesting. Maybe, you know, let's go with that then. So we're gonna talk about embodiment practices and that kind of jazz, and I'll probably come up with some other type of better title when I upload this. But so for the next week, starting today, so today I'm filming this on, I don't even know what day it is, Wednesday, the 13th or whatever, but I'm gonna be posting this on the 18th. And so for the next week, so from the 18th to the 25th, you're gonna get a daily video of me if you wanna watch it. And now for today's topic, which just kind of showed up for me, is embodiment. You know, embodiment, it's like, I see posts all the time on TikTok, on the Instagrams, where people talk about how if I were to start my healing or spiritual journey over again, here are 5 things I wish I knew. Or there'll be posts that say things like, they don't teach you about embodiment and integration in this stuff, you know, they leave that out, those kind of things. And I get where people are coming from, because it's like integration and embodiment are like the keys to spiritual development. Honestly, I mean, we can come up with different terms for different areas of life, but integration, practicing, and embodiment, where these practices they're not just habits or routines or practices anymore, they're now a part of who you are. You know, it's like if you want to lose weight, it's about getting healthier, right? And becoming a healthy person requires a lifestyle change. You know, I mean, movement, exercise, healthy eating, healthier habits, things of that sort. And so, like, integration and embodiment are in all areas of life, and people do it all the time. They're just unconscious to it. And what I've been learning, the more and more I continue to expand and grow and evolve, is that, like, if I'm just present in the moment, intuitively, when a shift happens, I find myself embodying the next level in my journey, the next step on my path, by performing some action, not like to prove anything, but performing or doing some action. In this particular case, posting a daily YouTube long form video, intuitively. Like, I believe that we're all doing that. If we just listen to the moment, if we just listen to the present moment and respond to it how it needs to be met. And so let me put that in other words for a moment. If we're present in the moment and we're responding to our own individual needs and meeting them in the way they need to be met. And I'm not talking about like catering to a demanding child type of thing. I'm talking about like that equilibrium where there's discipline and there's reward, right? There's compassion and there's structure, right? There's flow and I was gonna say discipline because I couldn't come up with another word again, but I think you get the gist of what I'm saying here. There's a harmony within that. You know, you rest when you need to, you push yourself to the fucking brink of death when you need to, right? Because there are times where like maybe the mind becomes complacent and settled in. And it's like, I want to challenge myself, man. Like I need something to strive towards. And so like these life is always inviting us to embody the next level if we just stop and listen. Embodiment practices and integration practices, they're great. Like the logic behind them and doing certain techniques, certain breathwork techniques, certain body positions, like they really do work. Like I'm not here to diminish that, but if you're just present in everyday life, in everything you do, when you're at work, when you're with the family, when you're with clients or coworkers or whoever, when you're in conversation with strangers, like there are literally always portals popping up in every single moment of every single day of everything we do where we can embody the next level of our journey. And it can happen intuitively if you allow it. And it's interesting, when I say if you allow it, like, what do you mean? It's like, okay, I'm allowed to embody the next level, Tyler. Now what? What am I supposed to do now? Right? Like that's what the ego says. It's what the mind wants to do because it wants to figure out what it's supposed to do next. And like that's where it's just like if you just quiet yourself for a moment and listen to what's happening in here. This is where doing the inner work of healing like your inner child and what people call shadow work and really becoming familiar with all these different parts of your psyche come into play, because how can you meet the moment with presence when, let's just say, to be generous, 25% of our psyche is stuck in the past and emotional trauma we haven't healed? How can you ever be fully present in the moment if, again, being generous, because some people probably have way more and there are people who have way less, but being generous, 25% of your psyche is stuck in the past running from trauma that you haven't processed yet. And listen, like it's interesting. I believe deep down that everybody intrinsically knows what they need to do next. I guess I can really attest this to like my time as a personal trainer, because so many of my clients, so many people who would just reach out to me just for advice or help or an exercise or whatever, they would be like, I know I'm supposed to do this, but I can't. I know I'm supposed to do this. I know what I should do, but I don't want to. Right? Like the but and everything after that is their story. Like I can't. Well, why can't you? And the question becomes like, well, how much time do you spend with yourself, and how curious are you about yourself? How curious are you about yourself? Because you can do like all of the practices in the world, but if you don't have this innate curiosity about yourself, about life, it's like you're gonna find yourself in this like narrow-minded window of how you think the world works and you're gonna miss out on all this shit going on out here. And this is what happens when our psyches are trapped in these loops because of unhealed, unresolved trauma. And I mean, like even that pause is an embodiment practice for me. So much of what life has been offering me these days is slow the fuck down because you don't need to have it figured out. And this is like my interpretation of the energy I'm feeling from source. It's not like the actual words in my head. I think this is something people get. It gets like almost misconstrued in translation from someone else's, because like you have someone like me, I'm essentially translating the energy that I'm experiencing right now into words, and you're taking the words and comprehending them through the filter of your own mind. And that mind can be filled with a bunch of filters from unhealed trauma, which really skews and almost creates this like illusionary wall for us where everything is at best a half-truth. At worst, a complete fabrication designed by the ego to keep you safe from some childhood wound you haven't healed. And What life is offering me these days is to slow down in those moments and just be with whatever's here. I mean, life's been offering me that for a while now, but it feels like now I'm actually embodying it. And it didn't happen because I did 6 rounds of Ujjayi breathing this morning, or because I did a cold plunge and a sauna, and I ate really healthy, and because I went for a walk this morning to get sunlight. Like it's not happening just because of those things, you know? One of the things I hope is that in my messaging, it never gets lost that like action does matter, and action from a wounded place just going to perpetuate the same cycles you feel stuck in. And so what life again is offering me right now is to not need to have it all fucking figured out. And there's been these subtle pockets throughout the days where it's like, yeah, bro, like, I mean, yesterday it was with a conversation with a woman at the gym. I mean, today it was pausing in the middle of filming this video. You know, like tomorrow, who knows what it will be? I mean, that's why like this innate curiosity about life is so, it's almost like, screw the almost. It is a prerequisite for expanding consciousness and healing. Because the second like you lose that like childlike curiosity, it's, I have everything figured out. I mean, when have you talked to other people in your life, right? Who, they have an answer for everything. And I'm not trying to be like a dick when I say that, but they legitimately have an answer to everything. You may just, your inner dialogue might be just in questions. Like, so why am I doing this right now? And then that person's going to answer it for you. You know what I mean? Or like, why is it raining right now? It was supposed to be sunny. And then they have an answer type of thing. You know, that's what happens. And no shade thrown at those people that you're thinking of right now, or I'm thinking of right now. I mean this all from a good place. More of like a lesson, less of an attack on those people, I suppose. But it's, without that innate curiosity, that childlike curiosity, life becomes like this, like you have blinders up and you only go one way. You have a narrow-minded way of focusing. All of the shit out here is irrelevant. And that's where like inner child healing and doing the deep inner work, the shadow work as some call it, is really helpful, because you can start to become familiar with these shadow aspects of yourself that have been lurking behind you, kind of like a puppet calling the shots. But the question becomes then, well, are you courageous enough to face it? Are you courageous enough to face your own demons that you've been running from? And you have to take ownership over that, right? Like you have to take ownership over those demons. Those demons may have formed from poor parenting or poor education systems or abuse, a mental, emotional, physical. Like those demons can easily be formed they can be formed from circumstances that are so far beyond your control. And the paradox in it all is you still have to take ownership over it. You can't control that somebody might have punched you in the face and left a scar or whatever. But what you can control is your ability to process all of that and own your part in it. I mean, even if like a couple gets into a fight, someone might have called someone a name and like a really aggressive, mean name, but the other person might have started the fight. You know, and so like there is 2 people conversing and being harsh towards one another in an argument, and they're both contributing to it, no matter who started it. You know, the ego, the mind, it loves to look for something or someone to blame. It's the education system's fault. That was my thing. It was my parents' fault. I did that too. You know what I mean? It's everybody's fault, but like our own, and like that is true. And it is still something that you can take ownership of. I'm not saying take ownership over what they did to you. I'm saying take ownership over your role in everything that happened. It could be taking ownership in the beginning stages or the healing stages, wherever you're at. You know, and I find, you know, it's interesting as I'm saying this right now, because what's showing up for me is like I find myself struggling to film these videos sometimes, because Yo, it's like this. There's people want a black and white, step-by-step way to get the exact thing they want. But the exact thing you want is so uniquely individually based that I can tell you what I did and I can tell you the things that helped me. But if you did everything I said, it would probably be wrong, because there are parts of you that aren't going to gel with the things I say. And you may find people, coaches, mentors, educators who resonate with you, but at the end of the day, the truth of the matter is you take their information, you apply it to you, and then you weed out all the bullshit that doesn't work. You know, like strength training is going to help everybody get healthier, but it doesn't mean you have to strength train like every other average Joe or every bulky dude online or every hot fitness chick on the internet. You don't have to train like all these people, but you do have to have that innate childlike curiosity to explore the boundaries of your own movement limitations, you know? And so then you start to explore and you find what strength training looks like for you and how it feels in your body. It's like, okay, I want to try this and this and this and this. And it's like, oh, okay, here we are. And now you have like that healthy spot of, this is how I like to train, you know? And it's like, I'll try new things. I'll go to a class, I'll do this thing and see what's up. But for the most part, I like doing this. I'm going to keep doing this. It feels good. I feel good. Like, let's keep going. And so much of healing and health is so uniquely individual. But so many of you are looking for that one black and white answer. And it's like, even if there was one, it would remove all of the fun out of exploring and figuring out who the fuck you actually are. You know, it's interesting to me how so many people have a clear-cut idea of who they are, but it's like, you don't even know who you fully are. You know who you think you are. You know who you think you are. You know the thoughts you've continuously thought about yourself over the course of your life. You don't know who you truly are, because in order to truly know who you are, you have to go beyond the boundaries or the limitations of the mind and sink deeper into your being and feel shit and explore that. I mean, there's so much innate wisdom within the human body from our lifetime, from just what it's capable of, that so many people don't even explore. And it's like, y'all, if you want to expand consciousness, explore your body. If you want to heal, explore your body. In all of the ways. In all of the ways. I mean, I mix movement in with breath work all the time. Like, not like a yoga thing. It's not yoga at all. I don't even know what I'm doing half the time. I know I don't have a name for it. So when people ask me, I'm like, I honestly, bro, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I'm kind of just, this idea came to me and I'm trying it type of thing. And it's like, how willing are you to look silly in the process? You know, how seriously do you take yourself? You know, I can attest to the fact that I used to take myself, I was about to say, this is so funny to think about. I used to take myself so fucking seriously. I'm kidding. I used to take myself so fucking seriously. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie, like, there was a part of my journey, like, I really needed that. Because it was like a balancing act of, I spent my early 20s, my late teenage years, my early 20s, drunk, not caring about anything, but like in a really self-destructive way. And so like I did a hard pivot into taking myself super seriously. And the last few months or so, it's been really balancing out a little bit, where it's like, okay, I don't have to take myself seriously at all. I laugh at myself all the time because it's hilarious. I'm a goofy dude, and life isn't all that serious at the end of the day. Even challenging shit right now, it's like, I'll be honest with y'all, like I am in a really tough financial situation and I can't stop laughing about it sometimes. I'm getting the chills, and like even that is another like embodiment practice for me. You know, there's these subtle pockets day to day where it invites you to embody the next part of yourself. But the question becomes, and maybe this is something I should have added in here sooner, what shows up is like fear. You know, the self-defeating thoughts, like, oh, you can't do that, you'll look stupid, what are they gonna think? You know what I mean? Oh, what if I get hurt? What if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? The mind doing what the mind does. You know, the mind's a problem-solving machine, so it looks for problems so it can solve them. And if we can get to a space where we're not attached to our mind and all of its programs, when we get to a space where we're not entangled with all of the stories anymore, but we can witness all the stories going by in the mind, like rain falling from the sky on during a storm, and we can just witness them all. It's like the mind does what the mind does. The mind thinks thoughts. The mind finds problems, and you can still take the necessary actions in the face of your fears. It's both end, y'all. It's both end. Like, I am afraid and I can fucking do this. And it's like, you know, well, what if I'm at a place where I don't feel like I can do this? Well, you got to start building up your confidence. You know, you got to start taking action in the face of fear, big ways and small ways, wherever you're at. You know, it could be taking, like, maybe, like, I'm just going to make up something that sounds unique to me, but like maybe you're afraid to go outside because of the sun, it's too hot, or you don't like the cold, or whatever it is, and like you go for a 10-minute walk, your mind starts chattering, but like, you know, I need to do this walk, you know, I need to do something to start turning this around. Like, so it's like, you do it anyway. You know, no one's around to actually judge you. You're all alone. The only person who's going to know about this is you, and that's the most important thing, because you have to start building your confidence is building that level of self-trust back up. When you spend so many years struggling and not doing anything about it, you know, like there's this disconnect between the mind and the body. And now that disconnect creates a level of distrust. And you have to start to earn your own trust back by being a man or a woman of your word. My audience is mostly men, but just in case there's women watching this. There's a word. I'm for all the people. I don't know. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up there, y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna call this yet. It's gonna be interesting, because this is an interesting one. But the next video, I'm gonna film right after this, as I am making sure I have all these videos ready to go. I'm committed to this shit. I think what I'm gonna do, I think what I want to talk about next is the dynamics of the mother and father wound and how they are so intertwined. What a fascinating thing. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot to do all the YouTube stuff. So if you took anything from this video, you know, do the YouTube algorithm stuff, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. And then if you're someone who's interested in working with me, joining our brotherhood, joining our community, we stuff down in the description down below. That's it, that's all. Peace out, y'all.